Yo guys, what is going on? Nickname is just Yellow, and today this Norwegian hardcore PC gamer figured that he would talk a little bit about public stomping in gaming. Now this gameplay right here, it's the most recent match I played, and it was a warm-up game I figured I would play, but it ended so strongly that I was like, you know what, I don't even want to play anymore, I just want to show this off because it's retarded. And in that case scenario, I also figured I would use the chance to talk about public stomping, because it's a thing that arrived, and I believe it originated in Call of Duty, and then it went further on into the public space of YouTube, and from there on I hope that it will not spread any further at all, mainly because it's not a too cool thing. Essentially it's all about a dude trying to find the weakest of enemies possible, and or enemies that will essentially never leave a lobby and whatever kind of public setting you got, and you will grind them towards getting some kind of extraordinary score that will that you essentially can show off. You can record it with a capture card, you can record it with theater mode, whatever, and you can show it off to people, and you know, then you do whatever the fuck you want to do with it. I mean, I used to do this back in the day, and it's kind of lame looking back at it because it's not a good thing at all. And I probably talked about it and thought, you know, what I'm thinking right now, that it's not too much of a cool thing. Even though, again, I was not so good, I made the game completely unplayable towards my opposition, enemies, etc. But some people do that kind of thing, and so I figured I would just explain all of it. So, yeah, from there on, in Call of Duty in general, whenever you get like a very high kill streak and shit like that, you will be able to just rail over all your enemies, and that in itself, it sort of ruins the experience for your teammates, as for they cannot find enemies. And it will ruin everything for your enemies, because they get to fight somebody that are literally so strong it doesn't really make any sense to fight them at all. They're out of their skill range, and thus it's not a learning experience, getting killed again and again and again. Unless you play it really slow, of course, and that is when people start to complain about campers. So it's essentially, public stomping is not a good thing, which is why I'm a little bit, you know, as I think about this kind of crap, I get more and more impressed with CSGO and how it works out, because it's essentially so... Yeah, I actually did that long-range spray. It's kind of ridiculous what I'm... You know, a couple of the kills I pull off here. But, you know, it gets more and more impressive the further and the harder you look at CSGO and how their systems are put into place, because it makes it so that the game is not only good for any skill range, but it makes it so that everybody can also practice, because there's no kill streaks in deathmatch and that kind of crap. It's essentially you just killing one guy, then killing another and another and another, and it keeps on going infinitely. And it allows you to, you know, practice your skill, and it allows you to practice the metagame within the matches themselves whenever you decide to play matchmaking or ESEA or whatever the fuck you prefer. So that's kind of sweet as well. Now, you know, compared to Call of Duty, of course, there is almost no super popular, yeah, there we go. There's almost no super popular competition and players playing fucking competitive in that game. So it doesn't really make any sense to play the public kind of crap. And also, a lot of the Call of Duty stuff, it surrounds itself with the grinding and leveling up so that you can reach the highest level in the game itself. And the highest prestige, rather than actually getting yourself better at skill-wise. I remember from playing Black Ops 2 that a lot of times as the game went on, and I had already been living with the highest prestige for an incredible amount of time, it got ridiculous at one point, because there was so many people at the highest prestige, but I was just able to run over them, because they were not really good. They had just played the game a lot, and so they had been able to figure out probably a couple of classes that they enjoyed, but in general they were not playing the engagements as they should have done. And here, yeah, I was not able to make the 3 last bullets connect. It was stupid. Anyways, I had way too much of an easy time here. Now I gotta say, with this gameplay, the enemies did actually put up a really solid fight, so it was not completely lopsided, and they did learn something from what the hell they did. Anyways, let's move on here. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy to look at how everything works out with Call of Duty and their public stomping and that kind of crap. And if you think back at all of this kind of stuff, a lot of YouTubers used to do this back in the day. A dude that doesn't upload too much, he's called XJaws, he used to do this. I'm not sure if that Mustafa guy used to be subscribed who did the same. Other people, I know that Sergris, he's just playing a lot, so he on the console, he's technically not a pub stomper, because he's playing for crazy clips, which happens randomly, in which just playing is better than lobby shopping, which is a phenomenon of going into a lobby and then leaving until you find enemies poor enough for you to beat up. so hard that you can get a gameplay that looks impressive, and thus you look more impressive than what you're supposed to look, you know, that's kind of gay as well. Yeah, there is still a lot of YouTubers. I believe that White Boy 7th Street guy is probably still doing the same, and maybe that T Martin guy, I'm not sure. There's so many people from the Call of Duty community on YouTube that has, throughout the times, just public stomped, and I gotta say, I'm not impressed anymore. Like, I was a little bit impressed when people were able to pull off really, really strong shit, but infinitely enough, I figured, you know what, it's not a big deal. It doesn't really matter. They're just playing against people that don't leave, and they get a crazy score, and it's almost like a competition of shooting, but you're standing really fucking close, and you hit in the middle of the sight all the time. It doesn't really make you a good player. And that's also, you know, with practice and CSGO, you can get one of those practice maps. I actually try and stand further and further back as I keep on going and practicing my shot and shit like that, and it's really helping out if you put in a couple of hours into it. So, yeah, just figured I would mention that. Now, what that is the point of this video? Essentially, it is to expose a lot of how the Call of Duty and a big portion of people watching YouTube videos and FPS videos on the YouTube, I want to sort of expose the fact that pub stomping is a thing, okay? This is something that is semi-popular, okay? A lot of people will probably find this gameplay right here to be impressive. I mean, this gameplay right here, it would only be impressive if you are like DMG rank or below, because a lot of people can't do what I did in this gameplay, and I did it by accident. I was just warming up, essentially. So, playing on the Smurf account, I tend to find worse players because my rank is a lot lower, because I normally play with a lot of, you know, shitty in real life guys, teammates, etc. that I'm just having fun with them and making them a little bit better, and, you know, I'm just having a breeze in general. So, yeah, I sort of want to expose all of this crap so that we can infinitely remember it and take a stance against it so that it will never happen with CSGO ever again. I mean, smurfing is something that you, in general, you just cannot get away from it. And I gotta say, it's kind of nice to have two accounts so that I can, initially, when I've warmed up and I am, you know, ready for playing some competitive and, you know, learning and teaching and try and get a lot better at the game, then I got my main account. But if I want to play with a couple of buddies and shit like that, I'm not gonna be a nuisance on my main account, because I'm not gonna meet a lot of shitty enemies and shit like that. It's not gonna be, you know, me stuck in limbo and never ranking up. It's gonna be a separate borderline. And also I get to play with my buddy, and he get to, you know, not feel bad of dragging my rank down and, you know, not being good at the game. So in that sense, it's the best of both shitty worlds. Does that make any sense? I believe it does, because me playing and being a low rank right now, that means that I essentially would infinitely be stuck at a low rank, and that would be causing a lot more harm than me just playing 2-3 games, warming up, and then I'm ready to go on my main account. Or I just do some shooting practice and deathmatch, and I don't really prefer that though, because everybody gets those fucking lag spikes. You know, the FPS just goes down hardcore. It's fucking retarded. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, figured I would show and shine some light upon that. As for the, yeah, my channel and stuff like that, I'm not exactly sure what the hell to talk about right now, because this topic, it's so monotone, you know, it's pretty much, I'm talking about a phenomenon on YouTube, essentially. So I figured that right now it's better for me to highlight a couple of other things. So I figured I should update a little bit on my YouTube stuff and crap like that, for people that are subscribed and shit like that. So, yeah, what the hell is going on in the future, in the close future? Well, not too much. I believe I'm going to put out a couple of Call of Duty videos, but essentially it was so fun to just get back to CSGO that I sort of got instantly burned out with the Call of Duty crap. So, we'll see what I'll do in the future. I might do some fucking projects. I might keep on going with the regular stuff that I was supposed to upload, with games and shit like that. Other games, you know, because not everything is not about one game in this world and on this YouTube channel. But now at least you people know. So yeah, thanks for watching. Nickname is Yellow, support is appreciated. You can figure out how to do that in the description below. And as always, have a nice day and don't get beastified when you play.